Hello guys, it's me Simo Orahara, and in this video we'll talk about who is the person or things that took Ryu's place after he was killed by Yuha and Ichigo. Before we go guys, don't forget to click like on the video, because by doing that it will increase the chance of the video to reach more people. I mean, it will only take less than a second to do it. And as always, a big thanks to my special supporters, either on YouTube membership or Patreon. Thank you guys so much. The thing that made me want to do this video is that I found some fans do not know who is now inside the cocoon, especially those who read the manga and watch the end of the battle of Ichigo and Yuhabach. They don't know what happened after that, because even the timescape that occurred in chapter 685 and 686 didn't explain what happened in the Royal Palace, what happened to Ryo, and how the worlds remained balanced after the killing of Ryo in Yuhabach, or for example what happened to the members of Zero Squad and Kisuke Urahara and other things. Of course the matter would have remained this way if the novels hadn't come, which clarified these matters. And so based on what was said in the novels, we will explain what happened after the War of the Quincies and the Shinigami. But first, I would like to talk about one of the points that I find similar in Bleach, which is that most of the organizations that exist in Bleach, there is one person from the beginning who created them and no one came after him. For example, the prevailing belief for a long time was that before Yamamoto, there were leaders before him who headed the leadership of the Gotei 13, but later it became clear that the Gotei 13 began with Yamamoto. The same thing can be said about Squad Zero. From the beginning Ichigo was present, and therefore there was no one before him who could be said that have headed the leadership of Zero Squad. And the same thing can be said about Ryo. Since the ancestors wanted to divide the original world into these three worlds, this person was the backbone of the three worlds, and therefore any harm to him would have exposed those worlds to great danger. And here I must clarify a certain thing. There is a difference between Ryo being exposed to danger, for example being killed or being seriously injured, and these are the things that may expose the worlds of Bleach to a danger. There is a difference between the seal that Ryo was in. The issue of the seal was created to reduce Ryo's power and force them to stay inside the cocoon, because the Tsuneyachiro's ancestor was scared of his power, meaning that Ryo could move freely in the Royal Palace and even the Soul Society like anyone else, and yet the worlds will remain balanced. Evidence of this is what happened after the fight between Ichigo and Yuhabach. When Ichigo cut Ryo in half, the worlds began to lose their balance. Then Mimihage intervened and restored the balance again. But after Yuhabach absorbed both Mimihage and Ryo, Yuha broke the seal that was on Ryo, and some of his power flowed into the Seirei. And shortly after that, the ritual was completed. Yuhabach became in a position where he literally became a parallel entity to Ryo, so that he became the one who kept the worlds in a state of balance. And at that time, Yuhabach didn't need a seal or to remain inside the cocoon, but as we saw, he was moving and giving orders and even fighting, as he fought Gizel and Lil Tito, and he also fought Ichigo and defeated him. He did all of this and the worlds were in their nature, without any danger. For this reason, I see that the issue of the seal is not necessary for someone to be in Ryo's place. What must be needed is a power similar to that of Ryo, and Ryo had that power, which enabled him to carry those worlds. Meaning, if we assume that Ichigo would have been the new Soul King, then he could have been like what Yuhabach was in when he absorbed Ryo and Mimihage, so that he would be able to move anywhere without being sealed. Perhaps he would have just been forbidden from leaving the Soul Society, and this would have been also been constant with what Kyoraku said when he told Ichigo's friends that there was a possibility that Ichigo wouldn't be able to leave the Soul Society and that they could come to visit him. It is true that Kyoraku's intention was something other than what I have just said, but even the possibility of making Ichigo a new king without sealing him and give him the freedom to work can go along with what Kyoraku said to Ichigo's friends. Therefore, the idea of sealing in its essence is an idea that only aims to limit the powers of any person who will be the new Soul King, so that his mission is only to be a battery for the worlds and nothing else, meaning that it doesn't matter whether this person is a rational person with a mind or just a powerful entity with no conscience. So guys, after we have clarified all these matters, let us move to the end of the battle that took place between Yhwach and Ichigo. What happened is as follows. After Ichigo made the final blow to Yhwach, that blow split Yhwach into several parts. The blow was fatal. It killed Yhwach, but the rest of his parts were floating in the Soul Society, and it seems that Ichigo or whatever had noticed that the floating parts maintained the balance of the worlds, and therefore the decision was made to take those floating parts from Yhwach and place them inside the cocoon that Ryo was previously in. Therefore this remains serve Ryo's role in maintaining that balance. Of course not all of that parts were used, but some of them may have been lost or something like that, and began wandering around for the next 10 years until Kazuo removed them in that mysterious scene. So everything I have said now is found in a novel. The beginning of the first parts of the novel Can't Fear Your Own Word talks in detail about these things. During Kyurako's conversation with Ichibi, they talked about these things and that Ichigo could have been in the place of the remaining parts of Yhwach. Therefore, the one who plays the role of Ryo is the remains of Yhwach. Of course, is keeping those remains inside the cocoon a good thing? No one knows, because we notice how after 10 years, the Shinigami felt frightened when they saw the remains of Yhwach moving. Never mind that those remains are the foundation of the worlds now. Therefore, as mentioned in the novel Will Not Always Love You, the Shinigami concealed this fact from the general public, so that it was written in the books taught to the Shinigami in the academy or speech addressed to everyone in the Soul Society that the Royal Palace has been protected and that Ryo is still alive and not killed. Because if what happened was revealed, a chaos might occur within the Soul Society, or let's say between the Shinigami. I mean, how come the remains of Yhwach are the ones that replace Ryo? And what if those remains might be a danger to the Soul Society in the future, and through them Yhwach may return? And I agree with these thoughts. Does Kubo really want to make Yhwach's remains the ones that maintain the balance of the worlds in the remaining chapters of the story, or will there be new developments regarding this topic in the Hell arc? Of course we don't know, but I hope Kubo can find a solution for this topic. So guys, what do you think about the remainings of Yhwach being the new Soul King? Do you have other theories, other possibilities? And can we see some things about that in the Hell arc? Tell me guys in the comments, and see you in my next video.